So I'm sure many of you are familiar with the work of David Attenborough and his beautiful documentaries about wildlife. And it's only the last maybe 2 or 3 years that I've been becoming aware of the amount of suffering there is in the wild for animals. And we speak a lot about antinatalism or abolitionism in terms of human suffering, and there is a whole other world of animal suffering, those other sentient creatures who don't have the NHS, don't have any system. They are being eaten alive. Many of them. Some animals are incredibly cruel when they kill their prey, or not even kill their prey, when they eat their prey alive. And then there's illness in the animal world. There's accidents in the animal world. If a deer breaks its leg, what's it meant to do? It must experience intense agony. And people watch these David Attenborough shows and they, wow, look at this. But actually, some of the time, he's not really relating to that suffering. They're relating to it as if it's Mother Nature and it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. But really, is it? What would you say?
Yeah, exactly. It's all the goings-on within the plantation. It's all the goings-on within the plantation. As I said, the slave corral that the planet is. So, unfortunately, we can't at the moment address animal suffering so much because it's just embedded. The whole planet is full of it. So we can't really address that at the moment. Although there is a philosopher called David Pearce who has a strategy for that to stop even animal insect suffering, everything. It's a transhumanist, David Pearce. You can find him online, but he's a genius. Everyone should listen to him, but obviously they don't, because most scientists don't want the game to end, and his strategy would end it all, or at least the suffering part it would end. But it's a mission impossible almost, because of all the political reasons, political resistance to it, the whole thing. But if you look at his work, you'll see what he prescribes to solve the problem of animal suffering and insect suffering,
Yeah, and I think people, if you want to look up also, there are various, if you search wild animal suffering on YouTube or just online, then you ask AI to see what we know about wild animal suffering, and then just so you can become aware of what's going on in the world, and that you're not totally mesmerized by and fooled by the theatre show. That's right, that we're in. We're here. I would like to relate further to that comment, because I do think the comment about fun and sun not being compatible with antinatalism does have some merit to it. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily, again, I would have a question like we asked in the last podcast about, what do you suggest? How do we relate to all of this? What can we do? We can't stop it. It's so overwhelming. It's there's trillions, quadrillions of animals and insects and all that. There's nothing any of us can do about it. So what are we meant to do? But I think that it's also important to just have that in mind, in the back of your mind at least, so that even when we're here in this most stunning place, one of the most stunning places I've ever been to, I'm also aware in the background that when I look at the sea, what's going on underneath the sea is a lot of predation, and everything is being crushed. Right, when we go for a walk somewhere or go on our bicycles, we're killing loads. Actually, on the other hand, there's a funny thing that I've learned since I came across the whole problem of life itself, and is that actually tarmacking is wonderful. When I go on a tarmac, at least I know that part of the world has been, there's a lot of animals have been spared. They're being crushed and spared the suffering of life.
Yeah, it's a great point. We call it the holy highway, because wherever there's tarmac, there's not all these insects being killed. They've put a seal on it, on that particular strip that we drive on, so there's no possibility of life. Maybe subterranean worms and things like that are underground, but for certainly not on the surface so much as there are in the grassy areas, where, you know, that's obviously their indigenous home for insects and things of that nature. So we call the tarmacked area the Holy Highway, because we recognise that that part at least has been, you know, the suffering has been diminished. Where there's tarmac, there's a diminishment of suffering in terms of insect life and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I also find it amusing, kind of, not really, but find it sort of ironic and interesting, at least, that people talk about, you know, the conservation of species, but why? Why are they so into the conservation of species? I mean, you know, the species that have been wiped out, at least they're not suffering anymore. There's no more suffering. So why do people like want to keep all these species alive? And the same applies to the human species. Why do people want to keep this game going on and on and on and on? I mean, I'm on death row at the moment. According to the surgeon, I should be dead by now, and I will be, according to him, I'll be dead very shortly, and I will be dead certainly in the next few 10, 15, 20 years, 100% be dead in the next 40 years. So, you know, why would I have an interest in this going on after I die?
Yeah, and we know the answer to that. When I first met you, you were holding a placard. This was, anyone who knows you very well would know your history and know how you began. And one of the radical question that you asked was, what's really going on? Anyone who tracks your videos back or knows you very well will recognize that statement. That's how I met you. You were holding it at the time I met you. And I made it my job to answer that. And I've come up with an answer. What's really going on? It's all a diabolical DNA con. I put it together so it rhymes with your question, and it's a complete answer. That's what's really going on. The people that have got an investment and a passion about keeping this theatre show going are directed by DNA. It's the director of the show, so to speak. This is a theatre, this is a show, we're immersed in it. It's very attractive to most people, but it's particularly those that are driven by DNA. We've escaped that, the director. So we're no longer in the control of the director. We are directing our own show. So we've gained our autonomy, complete autonomy. So we've stood down DNA, the life forces, the life director itself, the director of the show itself. And now we direct our course through life, which is an antinatalist course. That we've wrestled our control back from the DNA director of the show, and now we control and direct our own show, which is an antinatalist show, a side show, if you like, within the big show, because obviously we can't do much about the big show. It's global. We can do the best we can while we're alive, but we're only just entities. We're two entities here. We're trying our best. In reference to the person who said we should be doing more, maybe the inference was we're having fun, you see, or we should be doing something different. We're open to suggestions. We'll down the whole game if we could. If there was a button to press, I'm sure Danny, I'll speak for Danny as well, he would press it. I would definitely press it. See, I would press the button. If there was a button that would turn the whole show off, I would press that button, no doubt about it. If there was a red button to press, I would press the button immediately, no problem. So I'm very serious about ending this game. So if that commenter has any ideas about how we can go about doing that, we'd be welcome to hear them, please. And then we'll stop our play and get on with the serious work that we should be doing. Please tell us what that is, please, if we're missing something.
And see you next time.